Hello everyone. Today I will be demonstrating how my strategy works. The TM2 2.0 with my support and resistance. So let's get straight to it now. No time to waste. There we go. All right, let's begin with the basics. You might be wondering, Ali, what does support or resistance mean? Well, ladies and gents, support or resistance are terms for two respective levels on a price chart that appears to limit the market's range of movement. Hopefully that made a bit of sense to you. You can read the full thing here as well if you want. You would but other than that, I've got this picture as well for us that can make a bit of sense to us here. As it says clearly on the picture, here it says resistance and here it says support. Support is where the market had previous supports in the past. Now, if you was to buy it, for example, here, you can see that at the past, hopefully you see my mouse, they had support. And at the same time with resistance, if you were to buy it here, you can see that at the past you have resistance. You understand my point? Hopefully that made a bit of sense to you. If it doesn't, I will make it more simple for you guys because I know it can get tricky with support resistance. But other than that, now here I have got my strategy with a bearish market condition. Now, it says it clearly here. Ladies and gents, keep in mind, the strategy here is for a bearish market. All right. Now, here we have a pullback area. I'll get to it in a bit. But other than that, let's focus first on the support resistance area. But we will see where it will hit first. This is for Euro JPY. Now, let's wait. Let's go forward into the market, see which area will hit first, the pullback area. Now, ladies and gents, as you can see, Euro JPY hit my pullback area, which is is for sell, sorry, for buy. In bearish market conditions, in pullbacks, we enter pullbacks for buys. For bullish is the other way around, but we'll get to it afterwards. Now that this candle is in my area, I'll zoom in a bit closer for us. There we go. Now I predict the fact that this pullback area, it was touched by this candle. I believe the next candle will be going up. You might ask, Ali, well, how did you drop this pullback area? I'll show you right now. It's the same way as we do the support resistance. Just give me a second there. Okay. Here, we have floors. By floors, I mean where the market went from somewhere high. For example, this was the high and it went down, and now this is considered as the low. In other terms, the floor. Now, as you can see, the weak point of the floor touched my area. And when we look for pullback areas, we look for roofs as well. There we go. We have a roof as well here. This roof here, the market went low from here. This is low, high. And this is considered, in other words, the roof. And we have another floor here, floor again, floor again. The more floors and the more roofs it has been repeated in the past, the better that area is. That's how I look for my pullback area. As you can see, as I said, we have floor here, one roof, and a couple of more floors. If it had more roofs like this one, the area would have considered even better. Now, let's see what would have happened if we did enter that trade. Boom, we would have won it. We would have cleared that one massively. Ladies and gents, look at this massive clearance. This long blue candle, if we did enter it in our area, in the pullback area for buy position, we would have cleared it. There's another thing that I do for confirmations. It's not only that I reached my area. Keep in mind, look at this. The stochastic was oversold at that situation when it was here. The MACD it gave us a red candle as well. I will zoom into that a bit too. Now, look, hopefully seeing this, the MACD was a red candle as well. So that gave us a better confirmation with the stochastic and the MACD and the fact that it reached that pullback area, we would have cleared that. Now, that is how my pullback area works on a bearish market condition, ladies and gents. Now, let's see what will happen if it reaches my support resistance. Let's go further ahead into the future. Okay, all right. Okay, wait, hold on a second. I'll go a bit to the past again. It seems to have hit this area here. There we go. Ladies and gents, I'll do another explanation here. Now that you see this, you might say, okay, Ali, you didn't hit the area. I agree with you, but the weak point did. Now, there's two ways of entering my areas. This is for support, resistance, and pullback. Both areas work. Now, if only the weak point, as you can see, I'm talking about the blue candle, ignore the red one. I'm talking about the blue one. The fact that only the weak point entered it, I still count that it hit my area. Why? Because if we look at in a 1 minute time period, I won't look at it now, you will see that it has hit my area. In fact, I might just show it for you guys. Why not? Why not? There we go. As you can see here, ladies and gents, it has hit my area. If we look at it on the 1 minute time period. Now, if we were at the beginning of this candle, the blue candle, and we saw that it reached our area, we could have entered it for a sell position right there on a support resistance. And as I said, there's two ways of entering it. With the weak point touching my area or the full candle like this one. This is a full candle. This is what I call full candle. If I ever say I would wait for the full candle to enter my area, I would want something like this. The full candle to close inside my area. When I say weak point, I mean something like this. But the difference between a full candle and a weak point is that with the weak point is a less confirmation. While with the full candle, it gives me a better confirmation. I'm more confident with that. But even so, it still went towards our direction. As I said, with a bearish market, when we look at support resistance areas, I would like to enter for sell conditions. And right here, as you can see, the weak point did touch my area. And guess what? The stochastic was overbought. When we go for bearish markets, we would like to see the markets go overbought. Stochastic overbought as well. And we did see that on the stochastic, and it did went towards our direction. If we entered it in the weak point inside my area, we would have cleared this. We would have a good clearance. Now, you may ask, Ali, how did you find the support resistance area? I've got that solution for you guys as well. Let's go further back in the market. See what was the area. Now, ladies and gents, here, second, there we go. The way that I dropped up this area is I saw good floors and good roof. The same way I charted up the pullback I showed in the past how it works is the same way with the support resistance. With support resistance, we look for areas where the market hit, had a floor, and it also had a roof. So I'll show you where I saw my roofs and floors. Before me drawing up this area, I saw there was a good floor here. Good floor here, another floor, 2 good floors. Then now, once that I found my floors, I would be looking for roofs. And there we go. This was a great roof right here. The floors weren't strong enough, but the roof was massive. This was the low of it. It went down from here up to here to the high. In other words, the roof. So as I said, 2 floors and 1 roof. That area is decent and it did follow that rule. And look here, it had multiple touches again by weak points of roofs. And this is what I did again. It went towards our direction for the bearish market. It hit my area and it bounced back down. Let's see if it did carry on going down. It did. If you carried on entering it, you would have cleared it 3 times in a row. Okay, ladies and gents, I hopefully that makes sense to you all with how my strategy works with a bearish market. This is with, I've presented the support resistance area and the pullback area. Now I will show how it works with a bullish market. So let's see that now. This is the strategy with a bullish market. I'm saying this once again so it can make sense for you all. As we saw in the bearish market, the support of resistance was here. This is the support of resistance in the bearish market. But if we look back to the bullish market, now is the opposite way around. Do you understand my point? When we look for bullish markets, we would like to see the market go oversold. Then I would like to enter my trade. Now let's see what the market does here. Whichever it will hit first, my pullback or my support of resistance. Let's head it into the future. Okay. There we go. As we can see, the market hit my pullback area first. There we go. The same way I presented the pullback on the bearish market is the same way, but the other way around. Now, when I'm entering pullbacks, I would like to see this. I'm talking about bullish markets. Remember this. This is for bullish markets only. When I would like to enter pullback areas on a bullish market, I would like to see the stochastic go overbought like it is right here. MACD go overbought as well. Now, as we see here, this blue candle touched my area. And then on the next candle, it was a purple candle. So we would have cleared that. We would have had a good clearance there. Let's head a bit forward. There we go. You would have had another clearance there as well if you did enter my area for the pullback area. I'm going to give another demonstration on how I find these areas. You may ask, Ali, how did you find this pullback area? Well, ladies and gents, the way I found this area is, just give me a second. Okay. As we can see here, ladies and gents, here, hopefully you've seen this candle here. The market went up from here, from high to low. In other words, considered as the floor. So we had the good floor here, the market, then it had roof. The market went down from here from low to high. In other words, considered the roof. Then again, went low, high, roof again. Then it went down again, roof. Then again, once again here, roof, and again, roof. It had, I would say, a couple of roofs, but only 1 floor. You may ask, okay, Ali, what if there's only 1 floor or 2 floors and there's a ton of roofs? Ladies and gents, that kind of area is still well, because as I said, the more the floors and the more the roofs, the better that area is. It shows that that area hasn't been broken out. It has just touched it and bounced back down. Because look here, the roof, it hit it, it went down. It hit it, it went down. It didn't break through my area. Do you understand my point? The same thing as here that happened just now in the present. It hit my area, now it's going down. It didn't break through my pullback area. That shows that the pullback, it is strong. Now, hopefully that makes sense to you all. Let's see now if it does hit my support or resistance area. Let's head into the future again. It's going lower. It's going lower. Boom. There we go. There we go. Let's zoom in now. And as I said, in the previous market condition, the bearish market condition, there are two ways I would only enter my pullback area, with the weak points or the full candle. Here we had a full candle. Here we had only a weak point. I've already presented this, but I'll say it one more time so it can make sense. Now on the pullback area, it did a full candle close. The whole candle was inside my area and it closed there. While this support resistance area, only the weak point hit my area. Because you might see the purple candle here, it didn't close inside my area, but the weak point did. That's why I say sometimes I enter my weak points as well. But the weak points give me a less confirmation, as I said earlier. But it still did what I wanted you to do. It hit my area and it started bouncing back up. If you entered it on the weak point, roughly about here, you would have cleared it. You would have cleared it, ladies and gents. And with my strategy, just to mention this, I forgot to mention at the beginning, but I will do so we'll do now. So if you want, you can make notes of it. Now, you may ask, Ali, what kind of time periods you would like to us to enter the trades? Ladies and gents, there are 3 time periods, only 3 time periods that I would like to enter my trades. For 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. That's what I'm saying. If you was to ask me when on what time period should I enter, I would tell you 1 minute, 3 minutes, or 5 minutes. Personally, me, I enter my trades on 5 minutes, but that's up to you if you want to follow that rule. Because I have people that have been entering on 3 minutes and they have been having great results as well. Same as 1 minute. And now that we've got that through, I have presented how my strategy works with a bullish market as well. Hopefully that made sense. And before I present one more thing, you may ask, Ali, well, what do you do before you start trading? Do you look at any news, currency trends? Yes, I do. I begin with looking at Forex Factory for the news. I didn't check now because we were just doing back testing. I was demonstrating how my strategy works. But usually if you see me on a live session, I would always look at the Forex Factory news. After I have looked at it, I would then, just give me a second because it's loading. I would then look at the currency strength meter to see what the currency pairs are doing, how they are, like if they're bullish, are they bearish? And after that, I would just head into trading. Ladies and gents, as you can see here, as I said, we demonstrated the bearish market for my strategy. Hopefully that makes sense. I have demonstrated for a bullish market. Hopefully that makes sense too. So let's recap. What have we looked at? We looked at how my strategy works with a bearish market, with a support resistance area, a pullback. I have presented how I use my stochastic, my MACDs. I have presented how my strategy works with a bullish market, with the support resistance on it, and the pullback area on it as well. And the same thing with the stochastic and the MACD. But there's one more important rule that I forgot to mention. I will mention it now. Now, this rule, if you want to, you can use it. If you're not, that's fine. But this rule gives me a better confirmation, a slightly better percentage, and that is entering on different time periods. Now, these time periods are the 30-minute time period, the 45-minute time period, and the hourly time period. Why? Why do I would like to enter those time periods? Because on these time periods, the market has high volumes. The market makes massive moves. It makes quick moves. And most likely, it's going to go towards our direction. Do you understand my point? But as I said, if you don't want to use it, that's fine. We can still stick with the other rules. Those rules that I presented right now to you are important rules. But with the time periods, different time periods, 30-minute, 45-minute, and the hourly time period, that's up to you if you want to use it. But I use it often. Now, ladies and gents, now that we have how my support resistance works with a bullish market and a bearish market, I will present to you in a short tense, in a simple way, how TMT 2.0 works. So, ladies and gents, here, I'll begin with the basics. You may ask, what are these candles? Why they are purple, green, red, blue? Well, ladies and gents, this blue candle is considered as a normal bullish candle. That's my point. That's generally, it would be green if you see in a different chart. This blue one, the red one is a bearish candle. You would see it as red in other charts as usual. But if you see this purple one, now this purple one only pops up when there's a purple label above it, as you can see right here. If you see a purple label pop up, then most likely it's going to be a purple candle. And what does this mean? You may ask, Ali, what is a purple label? What is a purple candle? So, ladies and gents, when a purple label pops up, it's giving us a 70% confirmation that it will go towards a downward direction, towards a bearish perspective. Now, 70% is a lot, ladies and gents, if you think about it. The odds are only 30%. And look what it did. A purple label popped up and it did do exactly like that. But sometimes it might not happen. Sometimes it might turn bullish and run away. It can happen because the 30% odds, anything can happen, ladies and gents. But as I said, when a purple label pops up, it gives us a 70% confirmation that will go on a downwards direction, as it did, the purple label. Now, let's look for a green label. There's two here, but these didn't go up. That's the problem. I'll show you them as well. But now, let's look at this green candle here. It's the same thing as the purple label, but the opposite way. You may ask, Ali, what is the green label on the green candle? Ladies and gents, if a green label pops up, it gives us a 70% confirmation that will go up in a bullish perspective, as this right now. This is a bullish candle. Let's say you were here on the red candle and the close of it, and you see a green label popped up. You would have known that this would have gave you a 70% confirmation that would end as a green candle, as a bullish candle. And it did exactly like that. That's what it did. So now that we got through the purple label and the green label, how it works, I will show you what happens if these green or purple labels fail. As you can see here, this green label failed. Why? Let me zoom in a bit more. Now, as you can see here, the candle would have started from here, from the close of it. But a green label popped up. This should have closed somewhere up as a bullish candle. But what it did, it didn't respect that green label and it went towards a downward direction. As I said, it can happen. The odds are only 30%, but that 30% can happen. Anything is possible. But more likely is going to go towards the direction. Because look here, the purple label, you'd have cleared it. And even present now, this green purple label, you would have cleared it. But sometimes it doesn't do what it wants, but that is fine. Because keep in mind, we do get, by these labels, purple and green labels, we get a 70% confirmation. So most likely we are going to win that trades. Now, okay, now that I have presented what can happen, if those labels doesn't go towards our way, is because of the 30% odds. Now, there's another thing that we do with the TMT 2.0. I have presented what each candle means: blue, red, purple, and green. I presented the labels. There's another thing, the trend line, ladies and gents. Now, I will show you what happens when the trend line gets crossed. There we go. Let me just look for Okay, now I have seen a good way to show it. Now here, whenever a candle crosses the yellow trend line towards the upwards direction, it's most likely to carry on going up. Now here, as you can see, this blue candle, it crossed the yellow trend line and it closed above it. Now that would have given me a confirmation that that market would have carried on going up, and that's what it exactly did. This doesn't happen all the time, but more often it happens. There we go. It closed above the yellow trend line, it crossed the yellow trend line, and then it went up by 1. Okay, this would have been a red, but that's fine. 2, 3, 4, 5 bullish candles. If you entered all of these 6 candles, you would have had 5 wins and 1 loss here, just because of the trend line. So you would have had a 5-1 win rate, ladies and gentlemen. A 5-1 win just from this trend line, just from this area here, if you follow that rule. Now, as I said, this is the situation when it crosses the yellow trend line on an upwards direction. You may ask, Ali, what is the opposite? What is it on a downwards direction? Now, I'll give you an example. Let me just find a good example. There we go. I see one here. There is one here as well now. Now, this red candle crossed the yellow trend line. As you can see, it crossed it below on a downwards direction. And it closed, and it closed below the yellow trend line, as you can see here. Now, if I was to see that move, I would say, okay, now I would predict that the market would carry on going down. And that's what it did. It went down by 1, 2, 3 bearish candles. Let's say it took another trade, that's fine. You would have had a 3-1 situation, 3 wins and 1 loss, just by, as I said, just by following the trend line rule. And ladies and gents, this is separately from the support resistance. This is with the TMT 2.0, what we also do. This was the example with a downwards direction for the trend line. Now, we must have gone through all of the examples for TMT 2.0. I have presented what each candle does. I have presented the labels. I have presented the trend line, how it works when it crosses it on an upwards direction and a downwards direction. Now, we also look at stochastic when we enter trades. If it's oversold, we enter it for buy. If it's overbought, we enter it for sell. But I combine it with the support resistance as I presented earlier, as we see here. We also look at the MACD when we enter trades. If we see, like here, these green candles going higher and higher, this means that it's coming to a point where we'll start going down. If we see high waves here, as these green candles, that means soon, very soon, we'll start going down. Look what it did. It was going up, then it started going down and down and down. The same thing, well, the MACD with red candles. As you can see here, it was going down. It had a good wave on the downwards direction. Now it's going back up. Do you understand my point? It moves in waves. That's how the MACD works. Hopefully that makes sense too. And whenever, as you can see here, right now, this orange line of the MACD, it has crossed the blue line. That means the sellers are more than the buyers. But if it was the blue line crossing up the orange line, it would be buyers that are stronger than sellers. You know, so my point, hopefully that made sense to you all. Let's have a recap as well on the TMT 2.0, what we have done, what I have shown examples of. Now, I have shown what each candle does: blue, red, purple, green. I have shown what each of these candles do. I have shown what a purple label does, a green label, and a yellow trend line. I have also presented how the stochastic works and the MACD. And earlier here, we have presented how my strategy works with a bullish market and with a bearish market. Ladies and gents, that's it from me, as long as I'm not missing anything else. If you have any questions to ask, you can definitely DM me or Andrew or Amber, any of my other team members. So my team, you can DM them or DM me. You have anything to ask with my strategy, with the support resistance and the TMT 2.0. And as I said, we have got everything through here. I believe we might have been done now. Just give me a second to see, to confirm it. Yep, we have gone through all examples. Yes, we have. Now, ladies and gents, I will stop sharing my screen now. Hopefully, this did make sense to you all. If you found this confusing, ladies and gents, I would highly suggest you watch this a couple of times because support of resistance is not easy. Personally, it took me months to learn it. And I was struggling a lot in the beginning. If you find it struggling, as I said, rewatch the video 2, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, as much as is necessary for you to learn it. But if you have any difficulties, as I said, you can freely come text me or of any or of my other teams, Andrew and Amber. That's completely fine if it's for support my support resistance or the TMT 2.0. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hopefully it bring a bit of knowledge to you, a bit of more sense, more simple sense how my strategy works. And thank you for listening and watching my video. And I will see you next time. All of you, take care and have a good day.